guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Angela and this is Flamingo Homeschool. Thank you for joining me. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome. So today I am going to be answering various questions I've received through various social medias, messages, email, things like that. And I'm also going to be tagging 2 homeschool moms on YouTube that inspire me, and I'm going to hope that they answer the questions and then they tag somebody. So we'll see what happens. But I've got the questions right down here, so I'm going to go ahead and get into it. The first one is, why do you homeschool? So before the school shut down, my children went on spring break and they went to virtual education for a little bit. And we despised it. And so it would end every day literally with my daughter and I crying, and she was only in kindergarten. My son was in a pre-K, but obviously he wasn't at school either after that. And so, like a lot of people, we kind of pulled them out before the school shut down, but right about the same time. So I started to go ahead and teach her, and I found out how much we really loved it. She loved it, my son loved it, and I really loved it, and I could do it. I had always wanted to homeschool my children, but I never really thought that I could do it. And that's why when I say, if I can do this, you can do this, I am not lying to you, okay? And so we just really enjoyed it, and we didn't want to go back to the way it was before, and I was able to have that opportunity. I worked at the time for our company, our family business, and so I am able to continue doing some of that work from home, and the other part of that work is now on somebody else who works for us. So I was thankfully able to go ahead and keep homeschooling, and we really, really enjoy it. And so they don't want to go back, and I don't want them to go back, and we enjoy having our homeschool time, and we enjoy doing it for the most part. That is why I homeschool. I really realized through homeschooling that it was the best way for my children to learn the most that they could, because I'm able to tailor their school and their learning to their particular learning style, their interests. I'm able to tailor things to my son, who has some sensory things going on, and I'm able to do things that will help him to grasp things, help my daughter to grasp things in the way that they learn. Anyways, long answer, long. Question number 2, how long have you been homeschooling? Since March of 2020. So my daughter was in kindergarten. My son, like I said, was just in pre-K, and now they are in first. And my daughter just actually technically finished her 2nd grade year, so she's officially a 3rd grader. So you could say, since 2020 when she was in kindergarten, now she's in 3rd grade. So the next question, what is your favorite curriculum? That is so hard. I love the good and the beautiful for a lot of things, and we do use them for our language arts and our math, and I really feel like they are definitely on track or advanced even. I've looked at other curriculums, and some of them I was looking at one in particular that's online, and I would have had to put my daughter in like 5th grade math, and she's only going into 3rd grade because of the stuff that she knows from doing the good and the beautiful. So I really love the good and the beautiful. I love the way that it works. It works for my daughter, who's an auditory learner. It works for my son, who is a kinesthetic learner. He has to be hands-on, so it's very hands-on. It really works for a lot of different types of learners, and for me personally, the best thing hands down about it is that it's just open and go. I can open it to the page that they're on and it tells me exactly what to say, how to teach things to the child, what to do. It's pretty much, got everything you need with the, exception of a ruler or a pencil or pen or something like that, for the most part. And it's affordable. So, I love that it's Christian faith-based. I know there's some debate about that, but I haven't found anything that really disagrees with what I believe, and so that's fine for me. It may not be for you, so you might want to check it out. Now they are going to be offering, I think, grades 1 through 8. They're going to be offering for free next year, which is amazing for math and language arts. So all you have to do is download it and print it out if you want to, or you can purchase it. I have been purchasing it. I think I'm gonna go ahead and print this year though, because I do have my new Epson EcoTank printer, which will help me to kind of save on that. But we'll see, because I do like the books and binding and everything, so we'll have to see. So I would have to say The Good and the Beautiful. We've used Apologia, we've used The Good and the Beautiful, we've used Horizons, I think we've used. We use Singapore Math, we've used, what else? All About Reading, we've used, I'm trying to think of other ones we've used, but we've used a ton of different curriculums for different subjects, and hands down, I think The Good and the Beautiful is really easy and really affordable. So it's probably my favorite one. Okay, what type of learners do you teach? So my daughter is auditory, and then she's kinesthetic. So she hears and then she does it, and then she's grasped it completely. Like she's really good at hearing it and grasping things, and doing it and grasping things. And then my son is a kinesthetic learner all the way. He needs to be very hands-on with it. He needs to do it. And he's also very much a spiral learner. My daughter, she will do the review, but she really retains and doesn't need as much spiraling, as much repetition as my son does. So those are the kind of learners that I have. I am a very auditory learner as well. And I am very visual, and I am also kinesthetic, so it's like I have to like hear it, see you do it, and then I have to do it, and then I've got it completely, and I won't ever forget, hardly ever, sometimes. I mean, I'm human. But so that's the kind of learners I have, and I am learning along with my kids a lot of things. I am definitely being refreshed for things that I learned in school, and I'm also learning things that I don't really ever remember learning in school. So much for never forgetting, right? Okay, how do your kids get socialization? Ooh, okay, my kids have more of a social life than I do. Okay, we have church every week where they have their friends there. They also have friends that we see outside of church multiple times a week, at least twice a week we see their friends, more than that usually. They also play sports on and off. This last year they did basketball, and they had a really, really good time doing that, so I think that's what we're going to do again, but I have to kind of get with them and figure out if that's what they want to do. We go to the park, we play with other kids. They definitely get plenty of socialization. They have family, and they have neighbors, and they have friends, and so they get tons and tons and tons of socialization. So I don't really have any worries about that. My kids know how to act. That doesn't mean they always act properly, because they are children, but they know how to act. They know how they're supposed to act, and they know how to interact with adults, with children. They know how to interact. So I'm not worried about socialization, and you shouldn't be either. Okay, so how long does it take to teach school every day? Okay, so I'm assuming how long does our school day take? It depends on my kids, it depends on their attitudes, and it depends on a lot of different factors. We usually start school around 9. My kids, that way they get to go outside a little bit beforehand. That really helps. But sometimes when they just don't want to do the work, it can take longer, or we can take a lot of breaks in between and just kind of, get outside or change the scenery. We do have a schoolroom type of situation, but most of this, most of our school is done at my desk, which is a big giant desk that I have with my computer that I'm actually sitting at right now. And so it goes really far over, and there's a huge space for them to work at. So a lot of times we're all just working at my desk. So to answer the question that I was trying to answer, it usually takes us anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. I mean, it can take, 2 hours if they're really motivated and they want to get outside or they want to go do something else. But if they just don't want to do the work, sometimes it can take a little bit longer. Or if you have to take a lot of breaks in between, it can take 4 hours. Most of the time I would say 2 to 3 hours though. So that's about all we have to do, because we don't have to stop or wait or do all the things that you have to do in public school. We can get the lessons for the day done in that amount of time. Sometimes it goes super quick. Like yesterday we were done in like 2 hours, not even 2 hours. And today it took about 3.5 hours. So it just depends on the day. Okay, so short answer long. Let's see. Is your school year the same as the public schools? Okay. Yes and no. So I plan out our school year. I look at the calendars of their various friends and see when they're going to be out of school and when they're going to be, having holidays or days off and things like that. And I tried to plan for, those friends that aren't homeschooled. I try to plan our breaks around their kind of longer breaks. But we don't school year round. We take a break for the month of July. So we school until June. We school a little bit longer, but it kind of takes the pressure off during the year so that we can have more breaks during the year, if that makes sense. So, and we definitely always take most of December off. Usually we take about 3 weeks in December and the first week of January or something. So they're like 4 weeks there. So, and we take usually the whole entire month of July off. I find with my kids, if they go longer than a month, especially for my son, it really is harder for them to not only remember and retain things, but for them to get back into that routine of doing school every day. So we do only school 4 days a week, so we don't have a 5-day school week. And that's another reason why we only take July off and December fully off. But we do take weeks here and there. And I just found for my children, if I take longer breaks than that, they really have a hard time, and it takes us a long time to get back into the swing of things. So that's why we do that. Okay, what is your favorite thing about homeschooling? I kind of said a little bit of it earlier, but my favorite thing I think about homeschooling is probably that I get to not only see my children grasp the things that they have been struggling with, they get to grasp it, and the look in their face is so amazing, and they're so proud of themselves. I get to be there for every step of the way for that, but I get to tailor their education to their needs. So if they're struggling in an area, we can work more on that until they grasp that subject. And if they're not struggling in an area, if they're doing amazing in an area, for instance, my son excels in math. He could probably do 4th grade math. He loves fractions, so does my daughter, and he loves multiplication and division, things like that. He really, really enjoys it. So, in math, he's not really struggling on any of that. He's doing amazing. But it's not that he's not good at reading and language arts, but he loathes it. He hates reading and he hates writing. So we are kind of working on that. He's gotten so much better. Writing was really hard for him because he had a hard time with his pencil grip, and he still does sometimes, but he has improved so much because we were able to tailor that to his needs instead of him getting either left behind or, just not improving. We were able to kind of just work on that until he was able to progress, and he's progressed so much in that. And his reading, he has gone up in reading level, but he just does not like to read. He would rather someone read to him or listen to someone read it, and follow along in the book, which is perfectly fine sometimes, but he has really excelled this last year in his reading. And I mean, he's only in first grade, so I am, super impressed with his progress this year, and I'm glad that I'm able to really tailor that to his needs. I'm able to work with him on those things to make them more fun, to have him write about something that he's really excited about, that he wants to write about, which would probably be video games or math, something like that, and to be able to watch him really get excited about those things instead of having to just kind of, go by whatever. I'm able to tailor it to more of his likes and dislikes, if that makes sense, and his needs. Okay, so what is your least favorite thing about homeschooling? Oh my, okay. We always have good days and bad days, but that's really not something that I don't like about homeschool. It just is kind of what it is. Some days are not going to be great, and that's kind of how everybody's life is. Some days you're going to wake up on the wrong side of the bed, or you're too tired, or things like that. So that's not really my least favorite thing about homeschooling. Probably my least favorite thing about homeschooling, I don't know. I guess probably like the request 24/7 for snacks. So we actually have a rule now that they pick out their snacks. They get 2 snacks a day of kind of a really junky snack, like, whatever, chips or cookies or something. And then they have a fruit that they can get for a snack. So they pick them out in the morning, and then that's it. They get their meals, and that way I don't have to hear all day long, because it was driving me crazy, was, can I have a snack? 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 I'm hungry. Can I have a snack? I'm sure your mamas can relate, and even your dads, to that. Like, if your kids aren't homeschooled, I would liken it to them being home in the summer and just wanting to snack all the time because they're home and they're kind of bored, or they, just want a snack because it's there. So that's why we've kind of eliminated that, because that was a major source of frustration about homeschool, was them constantly wanting to have a snack in between things that we were doing. So, what is your go-to when the day is not going as planned? So what is the thing that I go to when the day is not going as planned? So if the day is going really not good, I sometimes will try to change up. Excuse me, guys. I will sometimes try to change up where we are having school, and if you've been around here, you've heard me talk about that a bunch in prior videos before. I will try to get us outside, or I will try to move us to the couch, or even to my bed. It's a big, giant California king size bed, and so sometimes that's where we do our reading. Sometimes that's where we do our, history, whatever. But it just changing it up sometimes will help. If it's really not going good, like if they really are tired because they were up late or they didn't sleep well or whatever, then I am inclined to say, you know what, let's just take a breath. Let's walk away for a couple hours and we'll come back to it later. And if we come back to it later because our attitudes and the day has improved, then that's great. If not, then that's okay too. We can always double up or fit it in somewhere else. So I'm not worried about that. We always make sure we're on track. So it's not a super big concern, and it's not worth our relationship being damaged by us being frustrated with each other, or their relationship with whatever subject it is, or with reading, or with, whatever it is with homeschool. I don't want them to have a bad outlook on that. So now it doesn't happen every day. I'm talking about, once in a while. I'm not talking about every day. If that's happening every day with you, then you need to figure out if that's the right curriculum or thing for you. Because it may just not be the right curriculum. Okay. So I will let you know that from experience, because, as I've said in past videos, when I first started homeschooling, we got a very, very expensive homeschool curriculum, and it was one of the best, and it was very, very expensive, and it did not work at all for what kind of learners I have and how my teaching is. So it was just wrong all around for us. So that's why curriculum is very important. That's why this one, for the most part, we use The Good and the Beautiful. We do use other ones, like I said, but it really works for us because it really does meet the needs of my kids and my teaching style. So definitely really helps. So, all right, guys. Well, that's all the questions. I'm going to go ahead and tag 2 people down below in the comment or in the description. And that way, hopefully they will answer these 10 questions too. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate every one of you. And just remember that you're fully equipped to teach your children by God. You can do this. If I can do this, you can do this. You got this, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.